Shalom, shalom.
Well,
First, on the beginning lesson off, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai by Hashem, Rahumahamadah. Double honors unto the elder apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone, who taught us his truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. Peace and salutations to the brothers out there pushing this truth, the 100% truth out there on the highways and the byways, the Akim, as well as you few sisters out there listening and learning. The Akwaf to you also, I say shalom. It is your brother, Ratazar Gabor,
and the brother Shaquat.
back with another camp lesson through the Spirit, man. And as you can see in the title of the lesson today, we're going to be reading over the book of Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter, and pretty much just reading it, pulling out precepts and stuff like that regarding that chapter, and doing a little bit of a breakdown for y'all. So it's to give you a little bit of basis of why we're doing this. Number one, I read the chapter yesterday because a brother had mentioned a scripture in the lesson, in his lesson the other day, that intrigued me, that I didn't know about. So I went and read the whole chapter for myself, and I was thinking to myself, I could do a lesson, my camp lesson on it tomorrow, because it'll be very it'd be good for edification purposes. You know, it just kind of just looks into the history of how we went off as a people, you know, and pretty much how we committed spiritual adultery against the Lord, and why we're in the predicament, or in the conditions that we're in right now as a people, man. You know, because a lot of they don't like to go into history. They don't like to look back on things that happened in the past. Like I was mentioning in my lesson last night, you know, they have selective memory, and they don't ever want to take accountability for the things that they did, right? At the end of the day, none of us are innocent. We always say this, we're still paying for things that we did in our past lives. You know what I'm saying? Things that we did that may have rubbed the Lord the wrong way, right? So just going to go a little bit into that, you know, how our people went into idolatry and stuff like that. You know, it talks about that as well in the book of the Wisdom of Solomon. I want to say like the 15th chapter, talking about false idols and stuff like that our people succumbed to. Okay, I was about to say, nigga, yo, light was super dark.
Yeah, it keep changing because of the window.
I was about to say, nigga, boy, it's like a shadow.
No.
Let me go ahead and get this though. Go ahead and start the lesson off. So this is pretty much, this whole chapter is a parable or proverb, right? So this is another reason why you have to have the Spirit of the Lord working with you, because you have people sometimes, they'll read the scriptures and whatnot, but they won't necessarily understand it, or they'll take it like quite literally for what it's saying, right? So they might read this and think this is talking about two prostitutes, but it's not actually talking about prostitutes. The Lord is using this in a metaphorical sense, to liken the northern kingdom and the southern kingdom. All right. So this is Ezekiel, the 23rd chapter. It says, Ahola and Aholabah, sin and its consequences. It says, the word of Yahweh came again unto me, saying, Son of man, there are two women, the daughter of one mother. Right? So two kingdoms coming from one mother. It says, and they committed whoredoms in Egypt. They committed whoredoms in their youth. They were there breast pressed, and there they bruised the teats of their virginity. So if y'all remember, when we came out of the Egyptian captivity, right? We were led out of Egyptian captivity by Moses, and you also had Aaron as well along with them. As soon as we got out of Egyptian captivity, you know, we went right back and pretty much forgot who delivered us from that captivity, which is the Lord. And from that captivity, our people decided to go and build a false idol and praise it and worship it, pretty much giving the credit to a golden calf, as if the golden calf brought them salvation and delivered them out of the hands of their enemies, which is completely false, right? That's how you know we're the Israelites. Jake does similar things to this nowadays, in today's standard, right? People have a build-a-bear God, as we like to say. They like to make the Lord um, to where it fits their personality or their needs and stuff like that. But if they actually opened up the book and understood what was going on with the world or with their life and things of that nature, why they in this fucked up conditions, why you may have certain type of ailments going on with you, you know what I'm saying, why your life may be harder than what it should be, you will understand. If you understood judgment, you would know that the Lord is the one who controls all of these things, right? There is nobody else who could deliver us out of captivity besides Yahweh Bashim Yahushua.
Mm-hmm.
You said what?
No, I was agreeing.
Okay. It says, and the names of them were Aholah, the elder, and Aholabah, her sister, and they were mine, and they bare sons and daughters. That's why their names, Samaria is Aholah, which Samaria is representing the northern kingdom, and Jerusalem, Aholabah, which is representing the southern kingdom, right? Because those were two cities that were in the divided kingdoms, right after the death of King Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
It says, and Aholah played the harlot when she was mine. She dotted on her lovers, on the Assyrians, her neighbors, which were clothed with blue, captains and rulers, all of them desirable young men, horsemen riding upon horses, right? So it's going back into a little bit of history. The brother knows this a little bit better than me regarding First Samuel, Second Samuel, First Kings, Second Kings. You know, after the split of the kingdom, the northern kingdom was conquered first and brought into Assyrian captivity. They wanted the captivity under the Assyrians, right?
Yeah.
What the Lord is saying right here is that our people living around the heathens, they took on to their false gods, their false idols. Jake has a history of wanting to be like the heathen nations. And you'll see that throughout the scriptures. Our people always want to be like the heathen nations, right? It's like, let me mute my phone. Let's see if it's like, even though the Lord made us a separate people and a holy nation above the other nations, we still, it's almost like you in a basketball game and you playing against a team that's worse than you. You playing down to your competition. I'm gonna get this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Deuteronomy 7:6. It says, "For thou art." Hold on. We can start at verse 1. This is warnings from the Lord. It says, when Yahweh thy God shall bring thee into the land whither thou goest to possess it, and hath cast out many nations before thee. Right? Whenever we went out to battle or anything like that, or we went and took a heathen nation captive, we're supposed to pretty much destroy them completely. Their men, you know what I'm saying, their sons and things of that nature. If we've seen any type of women that we might have been fond upon, you know, we could take them, but they have to. There's a certain there's certain commands that we have to do, like certain rules that we have to follow in order to take hold concubines like that. But nonetheless, though, whenever we were going there, we supposed to delete they whole everything, so we wouldn't be subject to going off and following their wicked ways and their heathenistic patterns. So that's what this is talking about. It says the Hittites and the Girgashites and the Amorites and the Canaanites and the Perizzites and the Hivites and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than thou. And when Yahweh, the Most High Power, shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, nor shew mercy nor shew mercy unto them. Neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou make shalt thou take unto thy son, right? That's a scripture you could use, right, for an example of these Jake women who disregard Jake men, right? They want to go and lay with the other nations. Back in the biblical times and ancient times, our women were never supposed to be able to lay with the other nations. They were wives, so they were only able to be with Israelite men. Now you have women out here who want to be with Edomite men. They want to be with this type of man and that type of man. Those are the type of women we're gonna see how that farewell for them in Jacob's trouble. It says, for they will turn away the son from following me, that they may serve other gods, which is what we're talking about in this lesson. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you and destroy thee suddenly. Right? So that's what we did as a people. We disregarded what the Lord told us. When you go in the land, delete all these people so you won't be succumb to following their heathenistic ways. What do we do? Didn't follow the Lord's. What was that? What was that wicked king? Was that King Saul? Where the Lord ordered him to delete all of Amalek or something like that,
Yeah,
and he
King
didn't
Saul.
do it?
Yeah, he the Lord put the spirit on Samuel to go command
Like
King
Samuel.
Saul to kill. No. No, you were right. You're not
Oh,
wrong.
okay.
No, Samuel was the seer. He was the prophet.
Okay.
So the Lord put the spirit on King Samuel to go tell King Saul, kill all the Amalekites and don't leave any of them alive. Like not don't so I mean you couldn't take any women as concubines and you couldn't take their spoils either. So you couldn't take their animals, all that stuff. You couldn't take that shit. You had to kill them all. Well, this nigga Saul wicked ass, when you read in Samuel, this nigga he killed most of the Amalekites. He left their well, he killed all the Amalekites except for one. He left their king alive, which was I forgot that nigga's name, but he left the king alive, and then he also took some of their spoils. So he didn't do what he was commanded to do at all. And then he tried to justify when the Lord put the spirit on Samuel and showed Samuel what happened. He tried to justify that shit, and it just shows how rebellious that our people are as the brothers going into it. That niggas are just rebellious, man. They don't follow directions at all, and that's why we're in the predicament that we're in right now. And he trying to justify keeping that nigga alive, but that was the beginning of his downfall. That was like the scriptures say, rebellion. Actually, that states this in the book of Samuel. Rebellion is that's the sin of witchcraft, all right? And the sin of witchcraft, when you go to the book of Leviticus, is death. So the start of King Saul's death was when he rebelled against the Lord. Because he just like nigga kill them all right? But obviously he wouldn't, even if he tried to kill them all, literally, even if he killed that whole sect of Amalekites, he still would have been around. That ultimate destruction won't come until we in our land, in the kingdom. And if I may add to your point, I had a few scriptures to add to you. First, I want to get Jeremiah 10, starting at verse 1, because the Lord had to literally tell us not to follow the ways of the heathen. That's how rebellious we are. He had to tell us this a plethora of times. Right, so
Not
here's one of
not
them.
just a couple times. It's the reason why in the scripture it always, whenever a prophet goes out to speak to our people, or even just in general, the Lord always says that we're a stiff-necked, hard-headed, rebellious people, a
Yeah.
rebellious house. Never want to listen. That's how the people are nowadays in this kingdom. Our people, they never changed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bro. This is Jeremiah 10 and 1. It says, hear ye the word which the Lord speaketh unto you, O house of Israel. Thus saith the Lord, learn not the way of the heathen, and be not dismayed at the signs of heaven, for the heathen are dismayed at them. For the customs of the people are vain, for one cutteth the tree out of the forest, and work is like the work of the hands of the workman with the axe. So we are not to follow the ways of the heathen, yet Jake still chooses to do so. It's like when what did Moses have to tell our people in Deuteronomy? Let me grab it real quick. So yeah, right here. Out of Deuteronomy chapter what chapter is this? Chapter 30, and I'll start at verse 17. But if thine heart turn away, so that thou wilt not hear, but shalt he drawn, it's like it, but shalt be drawn away and worship other gods and serve them. I denounce unto you this day that ye shall surely perish, and ye shall not be food upon the land, whither thou passed over Jordan to go to possess it. I call heaven and earth to record this day against you, that I have set before you life and death, blessing and cursing. Therefore choose life, that both thou and thy seed may live, that thou mayest love the Lord thy power, and that thou mayest obey his voice, and that thou mayest cleave unto him, for he is thy life and the strength of thy days, that thou mayest dwell in the land which the Lord sware unto thy fathers, to Abraham, to Isaac, and to Jacob. And Jacob. You see how you got to go through Jacob also? You won't be saved unless you're through Jacob to give them. Right? So the Lord literally had to tell our people, choose life. That's how rebellious we are as a nation. The Lord had to dark ass camera. The Lord had to tell our people to choose life. All right. You know how rebellious you have to be if the Lord has to literally say choose life? Shouldn't that be a given? But you would think
Exactly.
that, but then when you think back to the Garden of Eden, when fucking Eve chose death. The bitch chose death, and then Adam, he chose death right along with her just because he didn't want, he was simping, basically, right? And another thing, as the brother was talking about, how we were to kill all the heathen men, and even in most cases, most of the women as well, but we would take them little young girls, we would grow them up in our houses, or if they were already of age, we'd just have to wait about a month before we could go in under them. They have to cut all their hair off, cut all their nails off. Like the brother said, it's a lot of regulation to that, as it reads in Deuteronomy 21. So you couldn't just take a bitch and rape her, when you go in the streets, like these niggas would do. Can't do that shit because Amalek is doing that shit today. I saw a video, brother showed us a video a few days ago, basically where Amalekite was talking about, yeah, when we going in and doing this to the Palestinians and all that, blah, blah, blah. He said, yeah, we killing them. He said, we raping them too. These niggas is insane. Amalek a motherfucker.
Let me get
But
this to back you up.
yeah, go ahead.
Jeremiah 5:20, declare this in the house of Jacob and publish it in Judah, saying, hear now this, O foolish people, and without understanding, which have eyes and see not, which have ears and hear not. Fear ye not me, saith the Lord. Will ye not tremble at my presence, which I have placed the sand for the bound of the sea, by a perpetual decree that it cannot pass it? And though the waves thereof toss themselves, yet can they not prevail. Though they roar, yet can they not pass over it. But this people hath a revolting and a rebellious heart. They are revolted and gone. Neither say in their heart, let us now fear the Lord our God, that giveth rain, both the former and the latter. In his season, he reserveth unto us the appointed weeks of the harvest. Your iniquities have turned away these things, and your sins have withholden good things from you. For among my people are found wicked men. They lay wait as he that setteth snares. They set a trap, they catch men. As a cage is full of birds, so are their houses full of deceit. Therefore they are become great and waxen rich. They are waxing fat, they shine, yeah, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. Our people overpass the deeds of the wicked. The people that was put on the earth to quite literally be wicked. That's their only job. Our people will overpass them. There are they are waxing fat, they shine. Yeah, they overpass the deeds of the wicked. They judge not the cause. They call the cause of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right of the needy do they not judge. Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? As it says in the book of Second Ezra, the ninth chapter, and I want to say it's the 16th verse. Just as a wave is greater than a drop, majority of our people will be destroyed during Jacob's trouble. The Lord is going to bring forth judgment on the house of Israel, which is why we tell y'all daily to repent, turn to Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, and take heed while you can. Seek the Lord while he may be found, because there's no telling when that gate closes, when that time period, when that grace period is over. There's no telling. Shall I not visit? Shall I not visit for these things, saith the Lord? Shall not my soul be avenged on such a nation as this? A wonderful and horrible thing is committed in the land. The prophets prophesy falsely, and the priests bear rule by their means. And my people love to have it so. And what will ye do in the end thereof? Right? We have false prophets among the brothers, you know what I'm saying, in these other camps as well, telling our people and leading them in the wrong direction.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and finish this Deuteronomy 7.
Okay. To back your points, Salakia, because you were talking about how we were to kill all the when we go in, we were supposed to kill all the nations. I mean, all whoever we were attacking, we were supposed to kill them all off, so we don't worship their gods. We're supposed to do away with all of them, right? Well, here's an account of why we were to do that. You know, when you go to Second Chronicles chapter 25, and I'll start at 11, and then I'll just jump around to the verses. But it says, and Amaziah, you know, if you don't know who Amaziah was, he was a very young king. All right, he was about 25 years old when he started to reign. You know, he had a very deep hatred for the Edomites. So it says, and Amaziah strengthened himself and led forth his people and went to the valley of Salt and smote the children of Seir 10,000. Children of Seir is talking about the Edomites. That's their land. It says the other 10,000 left alive did the children of Judah carry away captive. So he was killing Edomites and we was in captivity. It says he brought them to the top of the rock and cast them down from the top of the rock, that they all were broken in pieces. So Amaziah, the king, was literally tossing Edomites off of a cliff. But so point is, he was killing Edomites. When you jump down to verse 14, it says, now it came to pass after that Amaziah was come from the slaughter of the Edomites, that he brought the gods of the children of Seir and set them up to be his gods, and bowed down himself before them and burned incense unto them. So here it is, this nigga then killed them. He was killing Edomites and enslaving them, but then he started to worship their gods after their gods didn't even protect them from him. And a prophet came up and actually said that to Amaziah. When you read down, it says, wherefore the anger of the Lord was kindled against Amaziah, and he sent unto him a prophet, which said unto him, why hast thou sought after the gods of the people, which could not deliver their own people out of thine hand? Why? The prophet asked him that. Why? Why would you worship their gods when they couldn't even deliver them from you? Now you're worshiping, right?
You
So
know,
when you go, yeah,
that's the same spirit our people had when they said, let us join the Greek gangs, right? Let
right.
us take after their customs so they won't so they won't enslave us pretty much. And they still enslaved your dumb ass.
Mm-hmm.
Let's
Yeah,
take after their customs so they won't take us into captivity. They still took into captivity, Jake. No matter how much you want to be like these people, it's a natural hatred towards us. They hate us because they want to be us. They don't get that though.
right, right, man. And you know, and when you read down, you know, 'cause like the bro's saying, bro, Jake is stupid, man. It's like the scriptures say, Jake is Sodom's children. They're rebellious. They're idiots. You
Yep.
know, it's a select few of Israelites who are actually wise. You know, and that's all due to being, you know, predestinated by Yahweh by Shemi Shai to be in this lot because it could have been anybody, right? And to keep going on that point, to continue back in the brother, verse 19, when you jump down, it says, thou sayest, lo, thou hast smitten the Edomites, and thine heart lifteth thee up to boast. Abide now at home, why shouldest thou meddle to thine hurt, that thou shouldest fall, even thou and Judah with thee? So the Lord was basically warning this nigga, like, yo, chill out. You being proud. You already killed the Edomites. Now you worshiping their gods. You about to get all the Israelites fucked. And then you go on and say, Amaziah would not hear, for it came of God that he might deliver them into the hand of their enemies, because they sought after the gods of Edom. And when you jump
Yep.
to verse 27, this is what happens when you do some stupid nigga shit like this. It says, now after the time that Amaziah did turn away from following the Lord, they made a conspiracy against him in Jerusalem, and he fled to Lachish, but they sent to Lachish after him and slew him there. So they killed that nigga. So you know what happens when you be rebellious and you go fall with the heathen gods? You get put to death by the Lord. The Lord judges your ass. That's what happens. All right. You got it.
Yeah, man. It mentioned this in the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, right? You will worship gods that your forefathers didn't even know, right? Gods of wood and stone. You know, you can relate that to Jesus Christos, Buddha, Allah, all that other shit. The, all the nations have their own gods, right? You know what I'm saying? The Moabites got their god. Ammonites got their god, right? Elamites, they got their own god. I just seen a car full of Issacharites. It was about 10 of them in the SUV. You can't tell me we not Jake. They take fruitful to be multiplying, run with it, boy. They had about 10 kids in that car. But no, you know, the the Hamites got their own gods. We're the only group of people who have our own God, who is God over all of these other nations, right? There's no God with the Lord. Yet we still decide to go and worship the other nations' gods. Which is why Deuteronomy 28 chapter exists. What was the Lord at doing slavery? Dumbass questions by dumbass niggas. Going back to Deuteronomy and 7 so I can get back to Ezekiel 23. Verse 4, for they will turn away thy son from following me, that they may serve other gods. So will the anger of Yahweh be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. But thus shall ye deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. And why is the Lord telling us to do these things? For thou art a holy people unto Yahweh, the Most High Power. Yahweh, the Most High Power, have chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. Right? Yahweh did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because you were more in numbers than any people. For ye were the fewest of all people. But because Yahweh loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he has sworn unto your fathers, which is what the brother was saying, hath Yahweh brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. That's what we're talking about. Is that not what we're talking about? These damn geese better leave me the fuck alone. I'm saying that right now. Go on about your business, boy. Don't keep near closer to me, bro. Go ahead and go back over there to the other side. But now, going back, Ezekiel 23 and 7. Ezekiel 23 and 7. Y'all might as well go ahead and cross the road. Oh, they on some bullshit. But no. So like, thus she committed her whoredoms with them, with all them that were chosen, that were the chosen men of Assyria, and with all on whom she doted, with all their idols, she defiled herself. Neither left neither left she her whoredoms brought from Egypt, right? So the things she was doing in Egypt back in the day, she was doing them same things now. For in her youth they lay with her and they bruised the breast of her virginity and poured their whoredom upon her, right? So they pretty much fucked us over as a people. Like, wherefore I have delivered her into the hand of her lovers, into the hand of the Assyrians, upon whom she doted, right? So because we wanted to be like these people so much, the Lord said, you know what? Go ahead and be under their rulership, right? See how that goes for you. Which is why we get into a continuous cycle where we've been in captivity to captivity to captivity. All of these different heathen nations. Do I move or do I stay?
What's happening?
These geese is getting closer and closer to me.
The who?
Geese.
Let me see, bro. So the,
I'll turn my camera around. Back camera. Let me lift it up. So like,
I would stay. They ain't gonna mess with
yeah, I should be straight. All right, come on, let me go back. All right, so it says, these discover her nakedness. They took her sons and her daughters and slew her with the sword. And she became famous among women, for they had executed judgment upon her. So that's just talking about the northern kingdom. Now we're about to get into the southern kingdom. When her sister, Aholibah, saw this, she was more corrupt than her inordinate love than she, and in her whoredoms more than her sister in her whoredoms, right? Pretty much saying the southern kingdom, Judah, was worse than the northern kingdom, right? Even though we're smaller than them. The southern kingdom consisted of 3 nations: Judah, Levi, Benjamin. The northern kingdom consisted of 9. Well, really 10 when we had Dan, correct?
you. Say that one more time. It's a lot.
I said really consisted of 10 when we had Dan, correct?
You talking about the Northern Kingdom?
Gone.
Um, mm, no, no, because Dan eventually got fizzled out. The reason, basically, the real reason why it was the 10 tribes was because you did have Levi. When in Second Ezra 13, when the Northern Kingdom left over here, pretty much after the Assyrian Empire,
Gone.
pretty much you had a lot of Levites because Levi was still over here. They still remained in the east with Judah and Benjamin, most of Levites, but you still had a lot of Levites travel over here to this side of the world with the Northern Kingdom. So that's why I said 10 tribes, and that's why you only had 2 outside that. That's because a lot of Levites traveled back over here. Majority stayed with Judah and Benjamin, but a lot of Levites came over here to the Americas. And that's why when you had Christopher Columbus and all that shit and all those those Spaniards and them the Spaniards and the French and stuff when they came over here, when they went to that land where the Dominicans, the so-called Dominicans and the so-called Haitians, which is Levi, dwell at, that's why they were already over there, pretty much. So that's why it didn't have nothing to do with Dan. Yeah.
So going on to verse 12, she doted upon the Assyrians, her neighbors, captains and rulers, clothed most gorgeously, horsemen riding upon horses, all of them desirable young men. It says, then I saw that she was defiled, that they took both one way, and that she increased her whoredoms. For when she saw men portrayed upon the wall, the images of the Chaldeans portrayed with vermilion, which the Chaldeans were pretty much the very wisest of the Babylonians. That's how you know it's talking about the southern kingdom. Girded with girdles upon their loins, exceeding and dyed attire upon their heads, all of them princes to look to, after the manner of the Babylonians of Chaldea, the land of their nativity. And as soon as she saw them with her eyes, she doted upon them and sent messengers unto them in Chaldea. Right? Then they left their two homies.
Mhm.
They across the street, they left two soldiers. Nah, but I want to get this real quick. This Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 1. It says, the vision of Isaiah the son of Amos. It says, rebellion of God's people. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the days of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, kings of Judah. It says, hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth. For Yahweh hath spoken, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib, but Israel doth not know, my people doth not consider. A sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh, they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger. They are going away backward. Why should ye be stricken any more? Ye will revolt more and more. The whole head is sick, and the whole heart faint. From the sole of the foot even unto the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. Your country is desolate, your cities are burned with fire, your land, strangers devour it in your presence, which is happening right now, and it is desolate, as overthrown by strangers. And the daughter of Zion is left as a cottage in a vineyard, as a lodge in a garden of cucumbers, as a besieged city. Except Yahweh of hosts had left unto us a very small remnant, which is the elect. We should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
You just read that was Isaiah 1, wasn't it? Yeah, man. The Lord had to leave a remnant. We be through. We'll be over with, man. The Lord had to leave a remnant. Been a few times the Lord wanted to just fuck us up completely. We had them instances where Moses had to like interject and be like, remember what you said, Lord? The Lord said, Lord been wanting to fuck us up bad. You know, 'cause we've been rebellious too. Even us, the prophets, members who are the hopeful elect, we went off too. We forgot what we were doing in the world before we came into this truth. And then not only that, we don't have the remembrance of the former things. So we don't even remember our past lives of how we went off against the Lord as well. So the Lord is very angry with all of us. You have a lot of instances where we getting fucked up in our personal lives, off camera. And yeah, it's the Lord trying us as gold is tried, but that's also judgment for us going off beforehand. We still getting judged for that too at the same time because we did the Lord dirty, bro. We really did the Lord dirty. Honestly, we did the most disrespectful thing you can do to. We did the most disrespectful thing any man or woman can do to someone, and that's commit adultery. That's the most disrespectful thing you can do. That's worse than killing somebody's mama. Committing adultery is worse than killing somebody's mama in cold blood, murdering her. That's worse. Adultery's worse. And we did that against the Lord. And majority of our people don't even consider that. Matter of fact, even with that, a lot of our people thinks the Lord owed them something. And they think they could make the Lord into something they want him to be. It's like, no, you don't run shit. We did the Lord wrong. So we don't have a say. A lot of our people, oh, now my God wouldn't do that to his people. My God wouldn't deliver us up into slavery for all these years.
You
Where was
worship
God?
a God that puts people in slavery?
Right. Like we wasn't disobedient. Don't you get put in a form of slavery when you go off against your parents, don't you? What is grounded? When you can't do shit, you can't go outside, you can't get your phones and shit, can't play video games. You got to go straight to school, back home. That's it. You ain't doing shit else. Is that not a form of captivity? So your parents even do that on the lower level. So why is it a problem when the Lord does it? You know what I'm saying? Where was God at doing slavery? Watching, bitch ass nigga. He was watching. You heard? Yeah, man, you got it.
Yeah, man. Any Jakes that's asking questions like that, like in today's age, let me just say this: you may be remedial.
No, ain't no maybe.
Your ass is just low. All right, going on verse 17. And the Babylonians came to her into the bed of love, and they defiled her with their whoredom, and she was polluted with them, and her mind was alienated from them. Right? Acts the 7th chapter, the 51st verse. Ye, ye, uh, uncircumcised in heart. Right? Our people were taken over by the heathen nations, began to think like them. Right? Assimilation took on their customs. So she discovered her whoredoms and discovered her nakedness. Then my mind was alienated from her, like as my mind was alienated from her sister, which pretty much means departed. Yes, she multiplied her whoredoms and calling to remembrance the days of her youth, wherein she had played the harlot in the land of Egypt. It was so bad, our people, let me see if I can find this verse. It says, Exodus 14 and 10, and when Pharaoh drew nigh, the children of Israel lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians marched after them. And they were sore afraid, and the children of Israel cried out unto Yahweh. And they said unto Moses, because there were no graves in Egypt, hast thou taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore hast thou dealt thus with us to carry us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we did tell thee in Egypt, saying, let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it had been better for us to serve the Egyptians than that we should die in the wilderness. You know how crazy that sounds, bro? We were in Egyptian captivity. Our people begging for the Lord to
What was you reading? The book of Numbers.
salvation. Hmm.
Just reading the book of Numbers.
Exodus 14.
It's kind of. I knew it was Exodus and Numbers. So like it.
Yeah, our people got it so bad. The Lord sent Moses to take them out of that land. Right? They asked him, Moses, did you bring us out here to die? We'd rather be slaves in Egypt. What type of shit is that?
Mind you, this is after. Mind you, this is after the Lord drowned Pharaoh in his army. Mind you, this is after the Lord killed every firstborn in Egypt, but didn't kill an Israelite. Mind you, man, this shit crazy, bro. Jay crazy, man. Jay crazy.
That's why it says in modern day spiritual Egypt, those who are with Egypt are gonna fall with Egypt. These people who like this way of life, who love being Americans, proud Americans, y'all niggas gonna die with this place as it burns, as it crashes and burns. This empire is going down.
Yeah, matter of fact, I could back you with that. This is what the brother talking about. This is the book of Isaiah 31 and 1. Help not in Egypt, but in God. Woe to them that go down into Egypt for help, and stay on horses and trust in chariots, because they are many, and in horsemen, because they are very strong. So these people, our people, they trust in this government, they trust in this army. Go ask your average Jake about this war in Iran and stuff, and this war in the Levant, in the Middle East, all that. They don't know shit about what's going on. They gonna say, I don't know what the fuck going on over there for real, but I know we winning. We gonna win. Can't nobody beat us. Can't nobody beat us. You know what I'm saying? So Jake just trusting in America. They don't think this place will ever fall. Niggas, like I see why the scripture say in Jeremiah is Israel a homeborn slave. Like, cause nigga, like you don't think this place will ever fall, so you want to be a slave forever, my nigga?
They rather be slaves to the heathen nations than to be slaves to Yahweh Shem Shah. That's why they said that back in Egypt. Same spirit of people on the earth today and
Yep,
dwelling in Babylon the Great.
indeed. It's crazy. And it says, because, but they look not unto the Holy One of Israel, neither seek Yahweh. Yet he also is wise, and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers. And he won't call back his words. When you read also somewhere else in Isaiah, I can't remember exactly where, but the Lord said he declared the end from the beginning. And he said at the end, his counsel shall stand, meaning his words are going to stand. It's going to be affirmed in the end.
You want me to get that?
Yeah. So I'll read it from the top. This says, yet, verse 2 again, yet he also is wise and will bring evil, and will not call back his words, but will arise against the house of evildoers and against the help of them that work iniquity.
This is Isaiah 46 and 10. It says, Isaiah 46 and 8, it says, remember this and shoot yourselves, men. Bring it again to mind, O ye transgressors. Remember the former things of old, for I am the Most High Power, and there is none else. I am God, and there is none like me, declaring the end from the beginning, and from ancient times the things that are not yet done, saying, my counsel shall stand, and I will do all my pleasure. Calling
Yeah,
a ravenous bird from the east, the man that executeth my counsel from a far country, yeah, I have spoken it. I will also bring it to pass. I have purposed it. I will also do it. Like the brother said, how could you think that these people is just going to dwell and be in rulership forever when the Lord declared and put out a prophecy that these people were going to fall?
yeah,
Hearken
amen.
unto me, ye stout hearted that are far from righteousness. I bring near my righteousness, it shall not be far off, and my salvation shall not tarry. And I will place salvation in Zion for Israel, my glory.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man. At the end of the day, at the end, the Lord's words will be affirmed at the end time. Like Habakkuk, the second chapter, verse 3 says, Lord, tarry, wait for it. All right, well, it's like for the vision is set for an appointed time, Lord, tarry, wait for it, but it will surely come and it will not tarry. All right, so these things will come to pass eventually. Just keep living. I'm still in Elder Azariah flow. Just keep living. Eventually, this shit gonna happen though. Y'all gonna realize what's going on. Ezekiel 33. What does that say? Then shall they know when all these things have come to pass, shall come to pass. Then shall they know that the prophet hath been among them. So eventually, this shit gonna happen, bro. Y'all been saying this for years. Y'all been saying it. You even got niggas who tell me and the brother like we ain't even been in this thing as long as elders, of course. We still on the way to being an adolescent. We still babies. And niggas telling us, y'all been saying this for years. So I can't imagine what the fuck the apostles and the elder bishops been hearing and the elders. I've been saying this for years. Ain't nothing happened yet. Okay. Just keep living, nigga. So you can see it, bitch. Just keep living. All right? Because y'all niggas think this shit is a game. It says, now the Egyptians are men and not God. These niggas are just men. Scriptures say don't trust in man. Those who trust in man will be destroyed. The scriptures say that, man. Warn to those who put their trust in man. You niggas put your trust in man. And not only do you put your trust in any man, you put your trust in the basis of men. How fucking retarded is that? At least go put your trust in fucking China or something. Iran. They gonna put their trust in the basis of men. This shit crazy, bro. It says in their horses flesh and not spirit. So them little F1 fighter jets and shit, none of that shit compares to a chariot. None of that shit compares. It pales in comparison. A chariot is spirit. It's spirit, man. So it could do it. There's nothing it can't do. All right, Esau. If you didn't know, Esau. This is not medical information. This is none of that stuff. You're right. I'm just saying what I saw in articles and reading and studying. But Esau is basically they've been making their own so-called UFO so they can compete with the test. So at the end, you're gonna
Space
see some
Force.
Yeah, you're gonna see some fake you're gonna see some fake chariots up there trying to fight the real chariots. Yeah. This shit crazy, bro. Where is hilarious. It says, when the Lord shall stretch out his hand, both he that helpeth shall fall, and he that is hoping shall fall down, and they all shall fail together. Like the brother said, all you niggas gonna fall. You want to fucking live with, you want to be down with Egypt, you're going to die with Egypt. Remember back in ancient Sodom and Gomorrah and the neighboring three cities? What happened when that bitch turned around after the angel clearly told Lot and all of them, don't turn your ass around, we're going to turn your motherfucking ass into ashes. Bitch,
That's a
look back,
fact.
turned around and thought shit was a game. She indeed found out that shit was not a game. Like the brother just said, she was instantaneously turned into a pillar of salt. So all your motherfucking asses who want to trust in Egypt, you want to store up your treasures here, where moth and rust doth corrupt, where a thief can break in and steal your shit, where a nuclear missile can come in and blast your shit, nigga. You do that shit while we looking down on you, while we're going up and you stay down here, Lord willing, of course, Lord willing. All right. While we, Lord willing, we looking down on y'all while y'all looking up on us. Lord willing. Because this shit is everybody at the end of the day, as the elder brother Nahoya always say, everybody's betting with their life. Everybody's betting with their life at this point. So whatever decision you make, whether you want to be an atheist, whether you want to be a Christian, a Muslim, whatever you want to do in life, whether you want to be a fag, whatever you want to do, everybody is betting with their life at the end of the day. So just remember that whatever decisions you make from here on, if you ever come across this video, remember you're betting with your life. All right? Yeah, you got it, Salaki. I just wanted to back your point.
You good, bro.
What?
This little Edomite girl just drove by the car talking about some this. She's funny. I ain't gonna fake it. She got me. That was funny. All right, though. Ezekiel 23 and 20 it says, for she doted upon their paramours, whose flesh is as the flesh of asses, whose issue is like the issue of horses, which is what which is what made me look into the book of Ezekiel the 23rd chapter anyways, because the brother brought this out in the lesson a couple of days ago. And if you go into what this says in the NLT,
Yeah.
pretty much talking about how the elder Malcolm would put it, all of our men 8 feet tall, 8 feet tall, Pringles cans filled with baby juice. Yeah, that's how we was back in the day. But she lusted after things like that, pretty much it's saying. She lusted after that hardcore shit.
That's why Jake had to wear them big ass garments, and we're gonna have to wear them big ass garments again so you can hide the rod. With no fucking, you had to wear them.
You couldn't wear pants.
Right? Yeah, you couldn't
There's
wear
a
no.
dude like that on that was circulating on like Instagram, TikTok, or whatever.
Was it an Elamite?
It was an Edomite dude, yeah.
An Elamite, right?
No, it was an Edomite dude.
Oh, was it Edomite? Oh,
It was two Jake women harassing him. That nigga had a third leg, like that nigga shit was like my arm in his pants.
Oh,
and
man.
he probably felt some type of way about it. These people keep on telling him to turn around and shit. Like, this is nigga human body part at the end of the day. You can't do nothing about that.
Yeah, man.
But right now, I would hate to be in that type of case because he probably can't get no sex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, we in the kingdom though, we're gonna get that glory back. You're gonna get that glory back in the kingdom. Like you had our rods getting compared to the size of a donkey and a horse's rod. You know what I'm saying? We getting that glory back in the kingdom, bro. We don't have that glory on this side right now. But even then, it's funny because even then, you know, Jake still got bigger rods than the other nations, typically. You know, when you 95% of the time, Jake still got a bigger rod than niggas of the other nations. So even in our lowest estate, we still better than you bitch ass niggas. Like the brothers always mention all the time, you got Edomites, these billionaires, these trillionaire Edomites that go to NBA games to watch Jake do something these niggas can never do.
Oh yeah.
They go to watch Jake do something these niggas can never do. Look at how this nigga flies. I wish I could do that. Even in our Lord's estate, man, niggas going to watch Anthony Edwards put his nuts in the nigga face. In our Lord's estate. You know what I'm saying? Jake's still glory. Jake's still in glory, bro. So imagine when the Lord comes down and officially reestablishes us in the spot that we're supposed to be at the top. Just imagine, man.
Yeah, like you said, even with us being in this lowly state, still outperforming the nations. Okay. Verse 21. Thus thou callest to remembrance the lewdness of thy youth, and bruising thy teats by the Egyptians for the paps of thy youth. Therefore, O holy bow, once again talking about Judah, thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, behold, I will raise up thy lovers against thee, from whom thy mind is alienated, and I will bring them against thee on every side. The Babylonians and all the Chaldeans, Pekod and Shoah and Koa, and all the Assyrians with them, all of them desirable young men, captains and rulers, great lords and renowned, all of them riding upon horses. Verse 24, and they shall come against thee with chariots, wagons, and wheels, and with an assembly of people, which shall set against thee buckler and shield and helmet round about, and I will set judgment before them, and they shall judge thee according to their judgments. And I will set my jealousy against thee, and they shall deal furiously with thee. They shall take away thy nose and thine ears, and thy remnant shall fall by the sword. They shall take thy sons and thy daughters, and thy residue shall be devoured by the fire. Now, this as it talks about Deuteronomy 28:7. Yahweh shall cause thy enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They shall come out against thee one way and flee before thee 7 ways. That was talking about, you know what I'm saying, the blessings we would get if we follow after the law, statutes, and commandments of the Lord. But going down, talking about the curses that were put upon us, Deuteronomy 28. Damn. So like Deuteronomy 28:25, it says, Yahweh shall cause thee to be smitten before thine enemies. Thou shalt go out one way against them and flee 7 ways before them, and shall be removed into all the kingdoms of the earth. So the Lord put a curse on us. We weren't going to be able to have rulership over the nations. Right? They were going to rule over us and he's going to bring a collection of nations against us. This is why we have these back-to-back captivities that we've been in. But it's all for a purpose and a reason. Ezekiel 23:26. They shall also strip thee out of thy clothes and take away thy fair jewels. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease. Thus will I make thy lewdness to cease from thee, and thy whoredom brought from the land of Egypt, so that thou shalt not lift up thine eyes unto them, nor remember Egypt anymore. For thus saith the Lord, the Most High Power, Yahweh, behold, I will deliver thee into the hand of them whom thou hatest, into the hand of them from whom thy mind is alienated. And they shall deal with thee hatefully, and shall take away all thy labor, and shall leave thee naked and bare, and the nakedness of thy whoredom shall be discovered both thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. Just talking about, once again, the things, so like the book of Deuteronomy 28th chapter, past the 15 verses talking about, man. It literally says things that are along this line. It's like, let me get this. Where is that verse at?
What verse?
It says they will, where it talks about they will pretty much hunt after us until they have destroyed us. Oh, here it is. Verse 48, Deuteronomy 28:48. Therefore shalt thou serve thine enemies, which Yahweh shall send against thee in hunger and in thirst and in nakedness and in want of all things. And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he hath destroyed thee. Yahweh shall bring a nation against thee from far, from the end of the earth, as swift as the eagle flieth, a nation whose tongue thou shalt not understand, a nation of fierce countenance, which shall not regard the person of the old, nor shew favor to the young. And he shall eat the fruit of thy cattle and the fruit of thy land until thou be destroyed, which also shall not leave thee either corn, wine, or oil, or the increase of thy kind, or flocks of thy sheep, until he hath destroyed thee. Which is what I was just talking about. I can't even go back. Ezekiel 23. And 30. I will do these things unto thee because thou hast gone a whoring after the heathen, and because thou art polluted with their idols. Thou hast walked in the way of thy sister, therefore I will give her cup into thy hand. That's why the brothers always say, Northern Kingdom gets it first and Judah gets it worse.
Yep.
Thus saith Yahweh the Most High Power, thou shalt drink of thy sister's cup deep and large. Thou shalt be laughed to scorn and had in derision. It containeth much. Thou shalt be filled with drunkenness and sorrow with the cup of astonishment and desolation, with the cup of thy sister Samaria. Thou shalt even drink it and suck it out, and thou shalt break the sherds thereof, and pluck off thine own breast. For I have spoken it, saith Yahweh the Most High Power. Therefore thus saith Yahweh, because thou hast forgotten me and cast me behind thy neck, behind thy back, therefore bear thou also thy lewdness and thy whoredoms. Yahweh said moreover unto me, Son of man, wilt thou judge Aholah and Aholibah? Yeah, declare unto them their abominations, that they have committed adultery, and blood is in their hands, and with their idols have they committed adultery, and have also caused their sons, whom they bear unto me, to pass for them through the fire to devour them. Moreover, this they have done unto me, they have defiled my sanctuary in the same day, and have profaned my Sabbaths. When they had slain their children to their idols, Molech, then they came the same day into my sanctuary to profane it, and lo, thus have they done in the midst of my house. So we're taking up after the heathen nations, going after their customs, and pissing the Lord off more and more, pretty much. Is why our people, 2/3 of our people, is going to be destroyed. And furthermore, that ye have sent for men to come from far, unto whom a messenger was sent, and lo, they came for whom thou didst wash thyself, paintest thy eyes, and deckest thyself with ornaments, and sattest upon a stately bed, and a table prepared before it, whereupon thou hast set mine incense and mine oil. And the voice of a multitude being at ease was with her, and with the men of the common sort were brought Sabians from the wilderness, and which put bracelets upon their hands and beautiful crowns upon their heads. Then said I unto her that was old in adultery, that was old in adulteries, will they now commit whoredoms with her, and she with them? Yet they went in unto her, as they go in unto a woman that playeth the harlot. So went they in unto Aholah and unto Aholibah, the lewd woman. And the righteous men, they shall judge them after the manner of adulteresses, and after the manner of women that shed blood, because they are adulteresses, and blood is in their hands. For thus saith Yahweh, I will bring up a company upon them, and will give them to be removed and spoiled. And the company shall stone them with stones, and dispatch them with their swords. And they shall slay their sons and their daughters, and burn up their houses with fire. Thus will I cause lewdness to cease out of the land, that all women may be taught not to do after your lewdness. So we're not going to come into correction. Our people, the wicked of our people, aren't going to come into correction until the kingdom of heaven is established. And they shall recompense your lewdness upon you, and ye shall bear the sins of your idols, and ye shall know that I am the Lord God Yahweh. I'm gonna get this. This is Judges 10 and 12. The Zidonians also and the Amalekites and the Maonites did oppress you, and ye cried to me, and I deliver you out of their hand. Yet ye have forsaken me and served other gods, wherefore I will deliver you no more. Go and cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. Let them deliver you in the time of your tribulation. And the children of Israel said unto Yahweh, we have sinned. Do thou unto us whatsoever seemeth good unto thee. Deliver us only, we pray thee, this day. And they put away the strange gods from among them, and served Yahweh, and his soul was grieved for the misery of Israel. Did you have anything you want to bring out?
Shit. I guess it's to say on the point that you were just saying, what you just read, talking about how in the book of Judges, the 10th chapter, the Lord said, go cry unto the gods which ye have chosen. And our people, what happened to I'll wait till they go by. I didn't even know they still had ice cream trucks.
So what?
I didn't even know ice cream trucks was still a thing. I ain't seen one in years. But no, I was saying, the Lord said, "Will cry to those gods which ye have chosen, because you're being rebellious, right?" And then Israel, okay, we'll get down, Lord. We'll get with your program. Just please deliver us this day. It's just like the spirit of a woman. That's what women do. We were in the spirit of women. You know what I'm saying? Back in the land of Egypt, when the Lord put the spirit on Moses to come bring us law, statutes, and commandments, we agreed to it. We agreed to it. We said, hey, we're going to, all right, bet. If we go off, next thing you know, we begging again for the Lord to deliver us out of a situation after he's about to fucking do away with it. Just constant rebellion is amongst our people. And that's why the Lord had to leave that little righteous seed. He had to leave that small righteous seed within our nation, because if not, like the brother read earlier in Isaiah the 1st chapter, we would have been like a Sodom and likened unto Gomorrah. Because it's like he also said in Isaiah the 1st chapter, why should you be stricken anymore? You revolt more and more. When you go to editions of Esther's, 5 and 8 in the Apocrypha, it says Jake is not satisfied with captivity. So eventually it's going to have to be the Lord just going to save a small number of our people and just kill the rest. He's going to have to do a mass culling, because Jake, at the end of the day, they won't get it. This is our major captivity. 7 meaning completion. We've been in captivities. We've been in smaller ones too, but these are the major captivities. Egypt, right? You got Assyria, you got Babylon, you got Medo-Persia, you got Greece, you got Rome, and then you got Rome 2.0. We've been had 7 major captivities, and Jake still don't get it. Jake's still rebellious. Jake's still wicked. So what?
Well, I said they would know it after death by pain.
Yeah, man. So this is our question for you Jakes out there who think the Lord is just some wicked ass tyrant. All right. The Lord has given us 7 fucking chances, bro. And you niggas still don't get it. What is the Lord to do at this point? What is he to do? Then it's so bad that even you have Jake that's in the truth that's still going off and wicked, selling out, stealing from the poor. Now niggas gotta pay for breakdowns. Niggas gotta pay for a Hebrew name. This is crazy. This is madness. You know? Niggas gotta pay to get counsel. This shit don't make no sense. And then niggas gotta pay to get a breakdown that's still wrong. So I'm paying money just to get a false breakdown. Jake and the truth still wicked. Now you got a nigga. That fuck nigga name is Hakah. I don't know if it was Hakah or Hassad. Nigga got this brand new ass car that costs hundreds of thousands of dollars. Flexing that bitch. Where you get that money at? Where you get that money from, fool? Jake still in this 7 captivity. Get it, bro. And that's why the Lord is going to bring mass judgment. All right? Because how long can you deal with a woman who's going to continue telling you, I'm sorry, I get I'm wrong, I'm sorry, and then turn around and do the same fucking shit over and over and over again? Eventually, if this was the ancient world, that bitch got to die.
Yeah.
This is the ancient world. Eventually, that bitch got to die. Or in these times now, eventually, you either going to have to just leave the bitch, or the Lord going to have to move her the fuck around, or he going to have to do something to where she gets down with the fucking program. So what is the Lord to do at this point? Israel is like a rebellious woman. So eventually, the Lord gonna have to end up doing what? He's gonna have to just he's gonna end up having to just kill you niggas. He's just gonna have to kill you. You're rightfully so. Right? My God wouldn't kill. Well, your God ain't real, and your God is a bitch. If that's the case, that guy wouldn't do that. Good. I'm glad. My God does though. So let's see. Who God gonna win at the end, bitch? Let's see who's God gonna win. You know, we'll see. Because at the end of the day, all you stupid asses is worshiping Yahweh. He made all them false gods. At the end of the day, all y'all worshiping the God we worship. Stupid ass niggas. Yeah, but as I was saying, Salaki for the rambling, Lord gonna have to bring the smackdown on our people eventually due to rebellion. You get it, you can see all of that when you go to Hosea the 4th chapter. The whole chapter speaking about rebellion and how we went off against the Lord. And eventually the Lord gonna have to give us one of them pimp slaps, you know, so, as a nation, you know, not us, Lord willing, not us, you know, Lord willing, praying. Right, you got it, bro.
Oh man. Like the brother said, you can read Bell the Dragon. All of these guys, idols,
Oh, you got
meaningless. Vanity.
the letter of Jeremiah, bro. Salakia. But you even got you like you said, Bell and the Dragon, and you also got the letter of Jeremiah, where that whole 60 to 70 verses tell you why it's vain to serve idols.
Wisdom of Solomon 15.
Yeah.
Wisdom of Solomon 16. So you know, they're not gonna understand when true calamity hits over in this place and they get to calling on these false gods and idols and they can't deliver them, you know. So it is what it is. So
Mm-hmm.
with that, man, we'll go ahead and close it off. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying to those out there listening and watching. Give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai, by Hashem, Rakakadash. Double honors unto the apostles and the elder bishops at Great Millstone once again, who taught us his truth through the spirit and the power of Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh Shai. And until next time, we say Shalom, Israel, Shalom. And as always, we're one day close to the kingdom, man. Keep pushing, keep pushing, keep pushing. Shalom, Israel.